There's another klipa that's the klipa of the inside. It's the klipa of the inside means the outside is very soft and very edible. But there's a type of klipa the Rishon once said like this, the Heilige Rishon. Kedoshim tiyu ki kadosh ani. Kedoshim tiyu ki kadosh ani. Kedoshim tiyu means you should be holy. Ki kadosh ani. So simply means that your kedusha comes from my kedusha. This is what Hashem says. Ki kadosh ani kedushas chana. Your kedusha comes from my Yachal Kamayni, Tamalem Ani Hashem. This is what the simple interpretation is. But the Heilige Rishon time translated like this: Kedoshim tiyu. You want to be holy? You want to start living over here instead of living over here? You want all the narishkeit of this world, all the silliness, to stop bothering you? You want to live in a place of dveikus, of connection with Hashem at all times, that nonsense and katnus doesn't bother you? Everyone wants this. Kedoshim tiyu, Hashem says, you want it? You have to start believing Kadosh ani. You have to start believing that you're holy. That's the trick. Kedoshim tiyu ki kadosh ani. You want to live kedusha? You want to live higher? You have to believe that you're already higher. Of course, you can't imagine a little bit. Just imagine that what would I do in this situation if I lived a more holy life? Because Kadosh Ani means this is where I really am. I have a chelik l'kalim al mamash. I have a part of the divine literally in me. I have a neshama that's connected, chay yechida liyachda, a neshama that's connected, that's one with Hashem at all times. That's where I really am. So if you want to live that way, start imagining that you're not that person. Kadosh ani. Because the klipa that resides within the hearts in the depth, it's a klipa of Amalek, but the klipa of Amalek takes away the cheshek, takes away the pleasure. Klipa of Amalek, besides saying, really, you? No, this is for big tzaddikim. Amalek, in Yiddish, if you translate Amalek, it's Amal. Amal means, Amal, yeah, there was, who are we? But Amal, a generation ago. You know, but every generation can always say that. You think that Talmidei Baal Shem didn't say, who are we? Talmidei Arizal. Talmidei Arizal can also say, us. Talmidei Ramban. The Goinim. The Amoraim. Tanoim. Nevi'im. Everyone can say that. You can say Amal. So the clip of Amalek is, it's not for you. It's not for you. What it says in the holy books, it says in Svarim Kedoshim, it says all these holy levels. This is talking about generations ago, where people on a very high madrega, a very high level. But you know who you are. And the answer is, you know who you are. You're not fooling yourself. You're talking to the person who you are. But there's also Kaddish on you. There's also a part of me that's holy. And how am I going to identify myself? This is the tainug. This is the pleasure. This is the true pleasure in life. The true tainug, the true pleasure in life. This is what Tu Bshvat is all about. To eat pears, to eat fruit. Fruit is the idea of tainugim. It's pleasure. The true pleasure in this world. This is something very paradoxical about pleasure. There's nothing higher than pleasure, nothing lower than nega. They have the same letters. You think that pleasure, that we receive pleasure, the more conscious you are that you're receiving pleasure, the more pleasurable it is. But the paradoxical nature of pleasure is that the less you are, the more pleasure it becomes. Let's say, for example, you're listening to Levi Robbins music. Okay, to Zachaya's music. Whatever, you're listening to some Geschmack music. Yeah? It's a tainug. And you're sitting and you're analyzing this tenuah, this movement, this works, the other one, I can see where the musician went a little bit off. You'll never have pleasure from listening to music. Because if in your head you're observing and listening to music, you don't have pleasure. When do you really have pleasure? The moment you stop thinking. The moment you become one with the music. The moment you experience bittul. The moment you stop being yourself, the more pleasure it is. The more bittul, the more tainug. Paradoxical, yeah? The moment, the peak of pleasure is the absence of self. That's why the opposite of pleasure is nega, which is full about the self. It's all about the ego, it's lashon hara, separation. Yichud is tainug. Yichud is tainug. It's a Rashi of Sanhedrin, by the way. Yichud is tainug. Unity is pleasure. The more unity, the more pleasurable it becomes. What's the highest pleasure in the world? Every pleasure that we have, this is one of the reasons why Tu Bshvat is a tikkun for Chet Etzadas. You know what Chet Etzadas did? Chet Etzadas diminished our pleasure sensories. Is that a correct word?
Sensory pleasure.
Sensory pleasure. Sounds good? Easy.
Yeah.
What?
Sensory pleasure.
Sensory pleasure.
Sounds good. Damage our capacity for sensory pleasure.
Damage our capacity for sensory pleasure. Diminished our capacity for sensory pleasure. It's better. It's much better. It's accurate. Because what happens is like this. They see they see there's a taiva, there's a desire. Before the chet, it says that period of the that the fruit and the bark of the tree taste the same. So it wasn't about a particular thing, it was the entirety of the experience that you're having gave you pleasure. Even deeper. The pleasure was not only felt. You have different parts of the tongue, right? That connect different sensory tastes. God forbid a person that loses that part, loses the sensory of the savory in the tongue, or salty or sweet, doesn't taste it. Today, after post Chet Etzadas, everything was diminished. Everything became small. This is what the concept is. You ever heard that it says that the chet, the tree that they ate from, was a chitahaya? The tree, it says, they ate from the Eitz Hadas, they ate from the tree of life, it was wheat. Wheat is not a tree. You ever saw wheat? Does wheat look like a tree to you? It doesn't look like a tree. So the Medrash says that before the Chet, the wheat was a tree. Everything was diminished. The fruit became a vegetable. You understand what happened? Other Rishon, conceptually, it says, Mesoifer like Ktseil. He was from one end of the earth to the other. And then when he ate Chet Eitzadas, the tree of knowledge, which is opposites, instead of being Eitzachaim, which is life, infinite, one, he became small. He shrunk. And everything in the world shrunk. Everything was diminished one level. Things that were tasted beautifully, like fruit, became potatoes. Tomato could be a fruit, yeah? We have to ask the farmer. But an apple became a potato. You understand what happened? The beautiful tasting apple the fruit became a vegetable. The chita, which was a tree, became a chita. This diminishing also represents internally, which means that at that point, instead of everything tasting well, the taste also only existed within a particular part of the mouth. So you taste a nice fruit. Does your feet feel pleasure from eating the fruit? Oh, so you're on a very high level. But people that are not such high madrega, when they eat a fruit, their mouth has pleasure, not the tip of their toes. But koydem achat, before the chat, everything they ate, whether it was the pirya or the eitz, it was the fruit, it was the bark, they completely experience yichud with that object, so they can experience total pleasure in their entire body from everything they ate. This is connected to Eitz Chaim. This is the tree of life. Today, we're post Chet Eitz Hadas on some level. We can't experience it. We taste something, it tastes nicely, good for the mouth. By the way, I have to tell you about the Shtavus. This is Oibik the Gemaisa, but I'll tell you in a second. Today, the way we can start tasting things, the way it exists in the tree of life, is through Yichud of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. When a person is davok, and a person is connected to Hashem, and loses himself in the Tainugah of Elam Haba, loses himself in Amid Dushtei Oineg, people saturated with, we have a pleasure instinct. We seek pleasure in this world. And the ultimate pleasure is to be connected with Hashem. Because it's a pleasure that we feel in the entire body, from the entire experience. And when a person is davok, a person feels connected, then they can experience pleasure in every single aspect of the creation. Because everything is bringing a person closer. But you have to feel the taste. The Chernobyl writes, the Moranai writes, that divine element within food, the koyach ruch, the spiritual potential, the spiritual power that exists within food, is found in the taste. In the taste, in the timing of the food, is where the chayas of Hashem is. That's where the chayas of the food is, in its taste. This is where we can experience the fullness of Hashem's presence. When we say, M'loi chalaros kvoidem. M'loi chalaros kvoidem. M'loi chalaros kvoidem means Hashem fills the world. But the deeper interpretation is, M'loi chalaros kvoidem. The fullness of the world is Hashem's kavod. Where we can taste within every single thing its connection to the Rebbeinu Shalom, its higher connection. in the Meloichal arts, in the fullness of creation. There's a Gemara, it's Yerushalmi says that a person is going to give a din v'cheshem, a person is going to give an accounting for every beautiful fruit that they saw and they didn't eat. It says, I'm not making this up. And the Mishnah Berurah brings it down to halacha. That a person should go seeking beautiful, delicious fruits to make a bracha to Hashem and thank Hashem for the deliciousness of Hashem's creation. The fullness, when a person is davik, they feel it every single thing, but you have to feel it through the taste. And this goes back to the story about Ishtalvus. Because Chaya is a good child. It's a good child. There were two tzaddikim. There was the Alter Rebbe and Rav Shlomo Karlin. Rav Shlomo Karlin once came to visit the Alter Rebbe. Imagine the house. It was such an excitement. Rav Shlomo Karlin was not just a little Rebbe. Rav Shlomo Karlin at that time was considered the Rebbe. How do we know this? Because Chassidim were called Karliners. All Chassidim were called Karliners. When you wanted to call a Chassid, they used to call him a Karliner. Everyone was connected to Baron Karlin. This is Rav Shlomo. Rav Shlomo Karlin was coming to the Alter Rebbe. The whole house was all excited. And the Alter Rebbe had a wife and daughters. And in those days, maybe these days it's a little different. Those days the women cooked. Can't just and Shlomo Karlin is coming, they made a soup. And every daughter came to the kitchen and said, I want to participate in the meal from Shlomo Karlin. So every daughter added a little salt. Each daughter, the Alter Rebbe had a lot of daughters, and they each added salt. And they served the soup, terribly salted. The Shlomo Karlin and the Alter Rebbe, they both sat down to eat the soup. And there's a Karlin version and a Chabad version, of course. Each one says the other version. Let's say one version. One version is one ate, one didn't eat. We'll say who ate, who didn't eat, such thing happened. One ate the soup, salted, ate the soup. And one tasted it, and it tasted like orange vanilla sweetener that Zechariah had angetuken. And he couldn't eat it. Okay, so one ate, one didn't eat. Who, what? That's machlik sapasik. One ate, one didn't eat. So the one that didn't, that ate, saw that the one that didn't eat, and said to him, by the Maggid we learned that you should be hard in taste. It's a difference, tastes like this, tastes like that. And the other one didn't respond. The one that spit it out didn't respond. So you would think that the one that ate it is in a higher madrega, yeah? The pashtus, like the one that ate it didn't care. Salty ate it is a higher level. Lav dafka. Lav dafka. Lav dafka. The Eibishter wants that we should feel Hashem wants we should feel His presence in every single delicious taste of food that we have. Not because I like the food, I'm attached to the food, I need the food, but because I want the food. Because Hashem wants me to have delicious foods. Hashem created a delicious world with beautiful fruit. It has so much tainugim in this world. Not that I'm attached to it and I need it. And if I don't have this delicious food, I can't live. No. But if the Eibishter created, Hashem created these beautiful fruits, He created it for me. So I can connect and feel the chis of the divine life force through this delicious food. So ultimately, the highest level is to every bite of food that you taste, say, psh, thank you, Hashem, for creating such delicious foods. And it should be delicious, by the way. And this is the tainug. And when a person is davuk, we should feel tainug. This is the avodah, this is the work of Tu Bshvat.